Welcome to Inside Titan Sports. I'm your host, Jeff Radcliffe, and for the next 30 minutes, we'll take you on a fantastic voyage, if you will, around the Eastern Florida State College athletics program. A lot to get to in this program, as we will talk with head basketball coach on the men's side, Jeremy Schulman. We also have some members of the women's basketball program as they continue to rattle off wins, and as the softball team gets set to embark on its 2016 season, we'll have head coach Ed Giannis and a couple of his players as well to chat to. But without further ado, let's start with basketball. And head coach Jeremy Schulman, the three-time defending champs in the Southern Conference, and now on quite a roll, 4 wins in a row. And welcome back to the show.
I appreciate you having me on, Jeff.
Indian River, this is the most recent one, a 15-point victory here as the conference play continues and you continue to stay unbeaten.
It was an unbelievable win for our guys. Indian River was undefeated in conference as well. Coach Charlie Wilson's done a great job with them, and they're 4th in the country in three-point shooting, and so we knew coming in it was going to be a challenge, especially for our defense. But to come out second half and hold them to 23 points in the second half in our 15-point win, was just really proud of the guys. And we really executed our game plan defensively and stepped up.
Yeah, it was a game that was tied at halftime. Thank you for B.J. Gladden's big three-pointer to make it so. In previous games, really, it's been the opposite, where you've had really a good first half and kind of skated through the second. This was just the opposite.
Yeah, a lot of our second halves have been due to being up at halftime, having a lead going into the second half and kind of relaxing. This one was different. Indian River got off to a hot start. I think they were up 19-9 to start the game. They really controlled the tempo and controlled the first half. And you alluded to the B.J. Gladden three-pointer, and we're lucky to be tied at half. So B.J. hit that big shot right before half and went into halftime. And glad there were no cameras in the locker room at halftime for that one. But the guys really responded, and again, defensively, it was probably the best half of basketball defensively that we played all year.
Do you think at WEFS we can get some cameras in the locker room at halftime? It would certainly make the broadcast a little more sparkling. B.J. Gladden, as you mentioned, 20 points. He's a guy that's really been doing things all season on each end of the floor for you.
He does it all for us. He's a great defensive player. Off the floor, he's a great leader. On offense, he distributes the ball. He's a facilitator. He can score the basketball when we need him to. He does it all for us. So another big game for him, and when he plays well, we got a pretty good chance to win. C.J.
Jackson, a guy who doesn't necessarily always give you the contribution scoring. He does everything else, running the point for you, but he had 21 points to lead the way in that game.
I truly believe we got the best point guard in the country in C.J., and the fact that he's just a freshman makes it that much more impressive, and he just controls the game, and I couldn't take him out of the game. He played all 40 minutes, which is a testament to his conditioning as well in a physical conference game, but played all 40 minutes, and he's a winner. He's a winner. He's a winner in high school, and he was a winner in prep school, and now he's a winner with us. And again, he's very, very valuable in so many ways to us.
How about the local product? Austin Awad, 14 points, basically 3 straight really good games for the Melbourne High graduate. He's athlete of the week for his efforts here at Eastern Florida State College. Talk about his contributions the last few weeks.
Well, we needed some players to step up, and Austin has been that guy that's led the charge. Austin he's always been a great player for us, but he struggled with some injuries early in the year, could never get a rhythm going, missed some time, missed some games, missed a lot of practice time. Well, now that it's his second semester, he's getting healthy, and he's stepped up in a major way for us. He's given us outside shooting, led us in rebounding last game with 10 rebounds to go along with his 14 points. Just really picking up on our defensive concepts his second semester, because as mature as he is, I sometimes forget he's just a freshman for us. So he's been really good for us last few games.
The definition of a spark player, too, no doubt about
Absolutely.
that. And looking forward, here we are. We're undefeated, in conference play. When you started the year, that's the goal. You had a couple of tough losses that kind of reset things for the guys. Now you've got the rematch with Palm Beach. This was how you open conference play with a big win, last second point by Kareem Bruton. Now you got to redo it again. It's a big guys, and this game is going to be televised too, so a lot of eyes on this one.
I'll tell you, it's going to be a challenge, that's for sure. Palm Beach is one of the best in the country. Top 10 nationally ranked team. Obviously, they're probably not happy with us coming down to their place and beating them at their place to start conference. And Coach McCann does a great job with them, so I know he's going to have them ready. But it's going to be a challenge, but we're going to be up for the challenge and just have to prepare, and hopefully the process leads us to good results on Saturday.
Is there one thing that you weren't happy with in that first meeting that maybe put you in that position to where you needed a game-winning bucket? Do you feel that you guys are the better team overall, and this should be an easier time out this time?
Well, definitely not easier, that's for sure. And I don't know if we're the better team. We just hope we're the better team on Saturday. You know, they're very, very talented. I mean, they are one of the best in the country. We've got to be better defense, and we've got to be better rebounding the basketball. We out-rebounded them by 1 rebound last game. We try to have a +10 ratio in all of our games. So hoping that we'll do a better job rebounding the basketball and a better job guarding the three-point line against them as well. I think they had 10 threes first time we played them. So if we do a better job in those two aspects, we've got a chance to be right there at the end of the game against Palm Beach on Saturday.
And it's 1-2 in the conference right here. You win this game, it doesn't clinch anything, but it really puts you in the driver's seat if you take this one, right?
It'll be a nice jump early in the conference season. There's so many talented teams, with Indian River, with Broward, with Miami-Dade, obviously Palm Beach, and ASA can be dangerous on certain games as well. So it'll be a good bump early in the conference season, but still a lot of ball left to play.
Can't wait to watch the game on Saturday. We'll see you then.
Appreciate it.
All right, is Eastern Florida versus Palm Beach. That game coming your way at 2 o'clock start at the Titan Fieldhouse. That is going to be live on WEFS TV. Hope to either catch you live at the game or either online or on WEFS. We'll turn our attention to the women's basketball program right after this on Inside Titan Sports.
Eastern Florida State College. This is where you discover new opportunities, where you pursue your dreams, and careers take flight. Apply now for new bachelor and associate degree programs in business, healthcare, computer technology, and other growing fields. Eastern Florida, where Titans rise. Apply today.
Welcome back to Inside Titan Sports. I'm Jeff Radcliffe as we turn our attention to the women's basketball program on quite a roll right now, 4 wins in a row. But head coach Jim Grimes on a recruiting trip, but that's okay. We've got something much better. We've got sophomores Emma Grimes and Crystal Townsend. Thanks for basically replacing coach here this week. This is going to be, I would think, even a more enjoyable conversation. How you guys doing?
Great, thank you.
Well, let's talk about just the run you guys have been on, the win up against Palm Beach, and things kind of rounding into form for you guys, you think?
Yeah, it's been good so far. We've really been working hard. Coming off of Christmas break, having some time off, trying to get back into conference is usually something hard to do. But we've been working real hard and trying to get it back together and just work on our process. And we're really excited to move forward in conference.
6 of 7 really wins in a row now, and this is after what happened in December and a little bit of November. This is really, must be a nice change for you guys.
Yeah, it's better late than never, to be honest.
Right.
So I'm glad we got together during conference than,
Yeah.
like in regular season games.
Is it all about peaking at the right time, and do you feel it's kind of the momentum's continue to move upwards as you're getting closer and closer to the end, to the finish line?
Yes, sir. It's definitely, I think we've been, playing well. We never play as well as we want to. I mean, we're always trying to strive for greatness and keep going and just keep working on our process. And we know the results will come, and we're working hard in practice. So yeah, we've definitely been playing well so far, but those are in the past. We're trying to focus on what's next.
Crystal, let's talk about the win against Palm Beach, 63-52, the final. It was not an easy game by any means. It was not really a good start, but you guys really had to battle in that one. But talk a little bit about how that game went.
As usual, we're always shaky in the beginning, and we just every team we just don't come out how we should in the beginning. And thank God, in the fourth quarter, he pulled off a little lead to get us the W, but. I have to give my props to Sims on Palm Beach. That girl.
30 points, didn't she have?
I don't know,
Something
but
like that.
I believe it. She probably did.
Talk about the flow of that game, Emma, and she alludes to some of the slow starts, but so you guys always find something to kind of get you over the edge. And has that come really from the trials you've had to go through earlier in the season?
Yeah, I really think that our schedule before conference really did help us. If you look at our last few games, we seemed to flip that switch somewhere in the second half, which is, I think it points to our hard schedule because we really did play a lot of the top teams, and we had to learn that, great teams always find a way. So we've really I think that did have a lot to do with it.
Yeah, the toughest schedule in the country according to the Massey ratings, and I know that point in the season wasn't savory, I guess would be a good word. That was really tough to stomach a lot of those losses, but now we see why Coach Grimes made that schedule because I think you're going to be ready.
Yeah, it helped us a lot. I think it well prepared us if we keep going. Well, no. We still need to get better. But if we keep winning the games
well
for
coached.
conference, and when we get to states, we'll be prepared to, we're playing the Panhandle Conference first, so hopefully be better prepared to play them when it comes. So it was actually a good idea to give us those games ahead of time to get a feel.
How is the team? I mean, you're speaking of season, and a lot of you guys don't know each other. Some of you are transfers, some of you are freshmen, and there's always a big turnover in the junior college ranks. And trying to come together, I think, is probably the biggest challenge. And now you're at that point, and the bench is really starting to get a roll. Talk about how the team has been coming together, and now you're getting contributions from everywhere.
Yeah, it's really been great. You mentioned the bench. The bench has been really key in some of our, our first conference wins. They really have shown up, and a lot of them are freshmen, and they're starting to play like they're not freshmen anymore, which is really great for us. And we've really been, getting closer as a team. You said, at the beginning of the year, you sort of don't know how people play. You don't know how, everyone's style is different. So we've definitely been working hard in practice, getting to know each other even better every day, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, Paula, Nini, have had the contributions all season, but now you get somebody like Daishika, local girl from Cocoa, and she comes out and scores 12 off the bench too.
Yes, we definitely need it off the bench because I'm not gonna lie, the starters was not there, and she kept us alive, like in key points during the game, to keep us close, and then fourth quarter to take the lead and the win.
Well, it's nice. I look at the standings, this morning, and here you are, top where you feel you should have been at all season. I know the regular record may not be exactly what you want at the 11-7, but here you are. You're still at the top with all these games to play in front. Talk about what's coming ahead. You got the game against two games this week, but the one against Indian River on Saturday on the road.
Yes, sir. It's a big one. It's on the road, which is it's always a little difficult traveling. It's a great program, and we're excited to go down there and have some good competition. We haven't played them yet, so it'll definitely be a fun game for us. And we're really excited for it. We're excited just to work hard. And games are always fun for us. Those are the fun days for us, so we're excited.
Yeah, Crystal, I mean, she mentioned it. This is the first time you played them, and you get them 3 times. So what do you know about this program, and what makes them dangerous? Do they have a person that can score 30 of 52 points?
Well, I don't want to say. Well, I mean, Indian River, I really don't know. From last year, I don't even think that game we better be on our game. That's all I have to say. We can only beat ourselves that game, which I believe we've been doing most of our games. Yeah. So we should be fine as of right now, hopefully.
If you listen to Coach Grimes, he's been talking about playing the full game. I mean, not just one half, not the full 40-minute type deal.
Yeah.
And how close are you guys to being able to deliver on that expectation?
I think we're close. Never as close as we want to be. We're never satisfied. But the coaching staff talks to us about stacking days, stacking good days.
All right.
That's one of our themes in practice. We're gonna have a good practice today. Okay, we got to stack those days, and that's how good teams become great. So we're really striving towards that, stacking games, stacking good days on and off the court, and so that's what we're trying to do.
Emma, Crystal, thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy
you.
practice, and tell Coach we said hi. We'll hope to see him here next week, and good luck. It's a big week for you guys.
Yes, it
Thank
is.
you.
Thank you very much. When we come back, we shift our attention from basketball to we go outdoors and go out to the softball field. We talk with Ed Giannis and meet a couple of his players. That's next on Inside Titan Sports.
I learned that the Indian River Lagoon needs all our help to survive.
I learned that my favorite running shoes are on sale this weekend.
I learned what the El Nino is and how it affects weather in Florida.
I learned that Pluto is 4.67 billion miles away from the Earth. Holy cow, that's far.
I learned that there's treasure all around us, even on the ocean floor.
I learned what quinoa is, and after trying it, I learned I'm not a fan.
Introduce a child to a newspaper, and you introduce them to the world. What can your child learn today?
Welcome back to Inside Titan Sports. I'm Jeff Radcliffe. Now we've got something special, not one, but 2 segments to talk about the Titan softball program. Joining us now for segment number 1, head coach Ed Giannis and Mackenzie Sowers, the pride of Melbourne High, the sophomore outfielder. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure, Jeff, to have us. Thank you.
Ready to get this season going? I mean, here we are this weekend. You get the first, official scrimmage. I'm sure, all winter. It's cold outside. relatively speaking, for Florida.
It's cold for me, yes.
Yeah, but it's about time to get out there and take the field, isn't it?
Yeah, we're excited to get going. You know, we take the off season pretty seriously, so hopefully they did their due diligence in the off season. That month and a half off, the last time we saw them was November 15th, so we're excited to get going again. We've had a couple of rain-out dates, but they came in ready to go, and I think we're excited to get going.
Mackenzie, what does due diligence mean when you think of it in the off season as far as your preparation?
I think it's making sure you're picking up a bat almost every day, you're throwing, you're keeping up with your workouts, you're just keeping up with everything that you did during season and improving on the skills, working on what you had to work on. Our coaches give us things to work on that you know what you have to do, so it's just keeping up with what you're doing in fall.
Mackenzie, one of 11 sophomores. This was a disadvantage last year because you had a lot of freshmen. Now they're a year older, a year wiser. Got to make you excited to hear for now your 13th season coming up here at Eastern Florida.
Well, you see how she answered the question. You can tell they're veterans. You know, between Taylor and Mackenzie, they knew what we needed to expect. It is exciting to have 11 sophomores. Practices go a little bit smoother, a little bit faster. They know what to expect each and every day. And it's just a pleasure to come out and go to practice and know what we expect, and they know what they expect from us, and it's a good time. We're looking forward to get going.
What has attracted you to the program here? I mean, obviously you get a chance to play nice and close to home. That's certainly got to be one of the big advantages for you.
Oh yeah, it's definitely an advantage to be able to play close to home. My family comes to almost like every game, definitely my dad. And then I've had friends that came here in the past. It's nice traveling, like watching the games and stuff, so just everything about it has made me want to come here.
A year ago, a little bit under 500, but you made it to states, as you always seem to do here. What's the limit? What's the cap on the team this year, and what can the girls accomplish?
Well, you know, I have an answer for that. You know, in each and every year we talk about making it to the state tournament. It's a feat in itself, and it's a credit to them, not to us. But the key to that is one thing, Jeff. There's 27 teams in the state of Florida in softball. There's 16 go to the state tournament. And it's a pleasure to go to the state tournament. It's a phenomenal feat in itself because of the kids that we have recruited, and that's their goal. Yeah, we've taken 2 on the chin each time and gone home, and it's not fun. However, when you have 27 teams vying for 16 spots, and you can ask Bruce Bochy a couple years back when he won the state, the national title of the World Series. It's not how they didn't win the series or the conference. They went in as the undercard. And they still won the World Series. I don't think he's disappointed in that. So our goal is to get there. Is it to stay as long as we can? Yes, it is. Do we prepare every day to get there and stay, for the full Monty? Yes, it is. But, when you have to peak at the right time and all the things have to fall into place. So that's our goal. And how we get there, we're not ashamed of how we get there, whether it's first or fourth, but we like to win. If I'm playing pickup sticks against my daughter, I'm going to win. So, and that's how we like to go about it.
Softball is a team sport, but there's a lot of individual situations when you depending on your position that you play. You're an outfielder, so there's a different skill set. There's different baseball skills. You talk about 5-tool players, but when it comes to catching the ball, throwing the ball, it's a little bit different than playing in the infield. How do you approach that when it comes to positioning yourself and reading the defenses, knowing what the pitcher is doing, your pitcher is doing, what that batter is doing? How do you work that out?
Well, like you said, every position's different. Outfield has to play a different way, but we also are connected to our infield. Our infield's giving us signs. We're moving. Whether the infield's telling us it's inside pitch, we're moving with each pitch. We're moving with the batter. We're moving with the wind. We're moving with the grass. Like, there's so many concepts that go into it, and it's really crazy if you actually go through and list it all, but each play, each pitch actually, you're just moving, you're constantly checking the wind, you're constantly checking the weather, the sun, where your players are positioned, where their batter's standing, is how's their swing. It's crazy. But yeah, we prepare for it every day, we work on it, we know our outfielders, we know our skills. We're also moving on our own outfielders. Whether your center fielder's playing to the left, to the right, you're switching off them too.
Okay. I think one of the tough things that gets lost in playing outfield, and I think it's magnified in softball because you're playing double headers every day. You got to stand out there in that sun, in the Florida sun, for a little extra, more time than I think you would wish. Conditioning comes into a big play here at this point, right?
In any college sport, that's some of the difference that's going to set themselves from high school to college is the conditioning, the speed of the game, but. We have a good program that we do. We use Palm Bay CrossFit, which happens to be one of my chiefs at the fire station. So they do a great job, and they're professional about it. They go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. Nobody complains about it, at least that I can know. They never seem to tell me that, but they go to the gym in the morning, then go to practice. So They condition themselves to make sure when we get to March and April, the arm speed's not slower, the bat speed's not slower. So they do a phenomenal job, and my hat's off to them, because some of the stuff they do, I wouldn't want to do it.
Mackenzie, my final question to you, and it's a two-parter. What will be the strengths of this team, of course, and what is the possible outcome? Is the sky the limit for what you can achieve on the field?
Our strengths in this team is we've really bonded. Coming into spring, I think we've bonded more than anyone that would expect us to do. We do team dinners. We have gone out with each other. We're just keeping everyone intact. We have a lot of strength coming in. We have a powerhouse that's going to do us well, and I think that we'll make it as far as we want to. All we want to do is win. So,
Mackenzie, thank you very much for joining us. Ed, stay right there. When we
Yes,
come
sir.
back, more about that softball program at Eastern Florida State College. It's all on Inside Titan Sports.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where Titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Welcome back to Inside Titan Sports. Now time for our final segment. We welcome back in Ed Yanis, head coach of the softball program, and then Taylor Zatello, for her debut on Inside Titan Sports, a sophomore catcher. Welcome.
Thank you.
Let me just start with you, since we've already heard from Coach a lot. No,
I don't blame you. That's a good point.
We'll hear more in just a second. How's the off season been, and how ready you are to get going?
For myself, I've been working really hard. My dad's an old school football guy, so he's, you better be out there, you better be doing stuff, So every day I'm working out, running, hitting, throwing, doing something. So there's no way you can back off anytime during the off season.
Sure.
All the technical stuff with softball, there's no real break. So
Sure.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Taylor coming down from Ponte Vedra. I mean, that's a great program, of course, but getting talented players, like her and Mackenzie, I mean, that's lifeblood to a program. But talk a little bit about why she's here in your program.
Well, we were able to a good friend of mine coached Taylor in high school and her travel ball team, and as we got a chance to meet over the years, he runs a phenomenal program on both sides of the high school and travel. So we got a chance to meet Taylor and watch her play. And of course, we're just happy that she decided to come to our program a couple years ago. She's blossomed into, obviously a star catcher, a captain on our team. Both her and Mackenzie and the rest of our sophomores, we have 11 sophomores. They do a phenomenal job. So we're just happy that she's here and chose our program.
Why come to Eastern Florida State College? There's obviously plenty of options out there for a talented player like yourself and your teammates. But why do you pick here to come?
I knew that I needed to grow just as a player. Every player does, every athlete comes to grow anywhere they are. And I had a great feeling just from what I heard about Coach Yanis and everything, that I had an opportunity to really learn and grow, not necessarily on the physical side, but mental side. Softball is such a mental game, and that alone you can grow to no end. So that was probably one of my biggest things, was my greatest opportunity was to grow mentally and physically at the same time.
Eastern Florida alum, former pitcher in the minor leagues with multiple organizations. You know about what it's like to not necessarily be in the circle as a softball pitcher, but you know the mentality you have to have when you're in that position. How important is the catcher to that whole operation?
Well, we have two assistant coaches as well, Coach Kat McDaniel and Coach Kim Overby, that our pitching coach and our catching coach, and Kim actually caught for us so over the years. So she knows a tremendous amount of job on both aspects. So, but when they're not there, because they do work full time and they're not able to travel, we rely on Taylor to take care of the game for us. I make no bones about pitching and softball as far as the mechanics and whatnot. So she does a great job in calling the game herself, and/or taking a timeout and knowing the nuances of each pitcher that we have, because we do have a rotation. And like you mentioned, we play double headers, so not always the same pitchers going out there. So she does a phenomenal job coaching them and working with them when our coaches aren't able to be with us.
We alluded to it a little bit with Mackenzie. At this level and in collegiate softball, at the junior college level in particular, you're playing doubleheaders every time out and standing behind the plate, or sitting behind the plate, kneeling, whatever. It's 7 innings back to back. Doesn't that wear you out a little bit?
Not really. I love it. I love being back there. I love always being in every pitch, every game, every inning, every batter. I love being involved, I guess, with everything. So for me, being able to do that is just kind of like a dream come true. And I mean, yeah, you could say it physically wear and tears on me, but you just kind of got to look past it sometimes, and you love playing the sport, and you're happy to be out there and have the opportunities that I do to play as much as I do.
Sure, and with Taylor, again, one of your sophomores that are coming, what is the limit? I mean, what is the goal here? Obviously, making state tournaments, as we talked in our previous segment, that is the immediate goal, and that's something you've been so successful at. But what can this group achieve?
Well, I'm going to go just a different tangent, like I mentioned the last segment about the state tournament of 2017s. But one of the biggest things for this team is also they won the GPA title last year. That gets kind of not mentioned very much, but it's not a cliche with us that these kids come to school for the right reason. All our sophomores here have done a phenomenal job and able to put that moniker, if you will. We used to battle back and forth with Jamie's team, but we always kid around because Jamie's team had 6 or 7 guys. We have 18 girls. So, but that's one of the successes that they have, and they do a phenomenal job at that. So that's a credit to them, and we just like to build off of that each year. So the wins are great, but when you have kids in town that come back and they're nurses, and now there's one of our players is the lawyer here in town, those are some more wins for us that we actually like. So.
Absolutely. A tough schedule, of course, on the field as always. How does that prepare? It seems like every sport here at Eastern Florida that's the case, but is it about what happens at the end of the season? Because it is a long season with a lot of games. Explain what it's like to go through such a daunting schedule.
You take every game, every inning, every at-bat individually. You never look necessarily forward until you win that next game. But I think the sky's the limit for us. We have great maturity. We have awesome sophomores. I'm excited to see what this team's going to bring. So I'm ready. I'm ready to go out there and win. So.
Obviously, to be a successful team, it's not just about the head coach, isn't it?
Oh, by all means. I have probably the best assistant coach in the country, bar none. I mean, Bob Yanchevsky, we call him Coach Y. It's funny because we offer a lot of scholarships to kids if they can spell his last name. You'd be surprised how many have missed his name. But anyways, he's been volunteering in the sport of softball for well over 40 years, Jeff, and unrecognized unless by us, his peers that know what he does. And I can't speak highly enough of him because when I'm not there, he takes the ball and runs it, and the kids know that he does a phenomenal job, and I just can't speak highly enough of him. We've been together now probably 16, 17 years, and his wife kind of kids us every now and we travel a little bit. I have to do the ordering for him because I know his meal eating habits better than she does. So he does a phenomenal job, and I'd like to say a quick shout out to Coach because without him, this program does not run by any means, no stretch of the imagination.
No doubt about it. Appreciate your time, Ed
Thank you,
Giannis
sir.
and Taylor Sotelo. Thanks a lot, and good luck this season. Again, the home opener coming your way on the 9th of February against Daytona State. That is a doubleheader out at Palm Bay. That's all the time we have, unfortunately, but to get your fix on Eastern Florida State College athletics, go to the website at easternflorida.edu/athletics. And of course, join us each week on WEFS for Inside Titan Sports. For all my guests, I'm Jeff Radcliffe saying so long and go Titans.